Hi guys, how you doing today? Now, you guys have given us a lot of positive feedback and we appreciate that. There are people that don't like my music in the videos. Choke on it. Now, today, we are talking about something that can help you save millions before you buy a car. And it's not negotiation, it's not luck, it's not knowing a broker, it's not rushing because the price is sweet. It's not buying cars at the beginning of a school term. It's not buying cars when someone is being taken by money lenders. No. Well, I'm talking about doing your homework. You see, in Uganda, many people do not buy bad cars because they are foolish. Many people buy bad cars because they start the process with excitement instead of information. They see a car, they like it, they like the shape, they hear the price, they imagine themselves driving in, they call two friends, one says the car is good, another says the car is bad, then they get confused, and still they buy emotionally. That is where the mistake begins. You see, before you buy a car in Uganda, you must do homework. Ugandans are sharp people, starting from the president. And homework does not mean watching TikTok and deciding, or going to Gigi. Homework means understanding the car market, maintenance, the documents, the condition, the risks, and whether the car fits your life. It's about avoiding a problem that you could have seen coming. First, you need to do the homework on your need. I've said this time and again, but I've said it most in Uganda. Now, let me say it in English. Do your homework on your real need. Before you ask, which car should I buy? First ask, why do I need a car? This is where many people get it wrong. You see, someone needs a simple town car, but they buy a big SUV because they want presents. And then they end up parking it uptown and they walk downtown, so the presents doesn't even make sense, yeah? Someone needs a family car, but they buy a small car because it's fuel saving. Or someone is actually AVT, but they want to save fuel. So they buy a car that's uncomfortable on their body. They end up getting spinal cord problems, back problems, and all. Or someone needs a car for upcountry roads, but they buy a low sedan because it looks smart in Kampala. Or someone needs a business car, but they end up buying something rare and hard to maintain. Or someone is a first-time car owner, but they start with a car that needs specialist maintenance. So before the car search begins, I need you to write down your real life. Yes, do you drive mostly in Kampala? Do you travel upcountry? Do you carry a family? Do you carry goods? Do you need fuel saving? Do you need ground clearance? Do you need comfort? Do you need resale value? You need something that is easy to maintain, because a good car for one person can be a wrong car for the other person. You get a Toyota Aqua can make sense for someone doing town movements. A Toyota RAV4 can make sense for someone who needs ground clearance, and a Toyota Nua can make sense for family with someone with a big family, and a Mark X can make sense for someone that understands fuel and maintenance. A Prado can make sense for someone who truly needs strength. But if you buy the wrong car for your life, you may start blaming the car when the problem was you. But the problem was you. The problem was your decision. So first, let's do the homework on you. What do you need? It's not about car, it's you.
For the love of cars, Uganda, we roll.
Before you buy a car, knowing the market price, Mukatari, in the board, in the Vivanda, with normal people, you need to know the normal price range. If you want a Toyota Fielder, you need to understand what a clean one is costing. If you want a Toyota Harrier, you need to know the difference between your years, the engines, condition, yeah, and what the differences are. Or else you're going to end up buying a 2010 when a 2006 would have done better or would have done just enough. If you want a Subaru Forester, you need to know the difference between normal and turbo versions. You need to know the market. If you want a Toyota Mark X, you need to understand how much a clean unit of the model you want costs normally. And obviously, if you want a Toyota Noah, you want to know what are the market prices. People call me all the time. I have 20 million, I want a Noah 2008. Impossible. So do not enter the market with no idea. Because when you do not know the market, any seller can confuse you. And they always confuse my people. If the car is too expensive, you may overpay. If the car is too cheap, you may ignore the warnings. If the broker tells you this is the last chance or the last clean one, you may panic. If someone says prices are going up tomorrow, you may run or rush to buy the car, yet you don't need it. So market homework gives you confidence, a lot of confidence, by the way. And when you know that the most clean units are around a certain price and one car is far way below that, then you don't just celebrate. You ask why. Is it an accident car? Does it have a gearbox problem? Most of the fielders, for example, if they are way below the budget, most of them have a gearbox issue. Is it the rust? Yeah? Is it overheating? Is it poor resale? You need to ask yourself these questions. Yeah? Does it have mechanical work that is hidden right now? Is the seller desperate? Yeah? Is the documentation clean? You need to be asking yourself. A cheap car is not always bad, but it must explain why it's cheap. The price must be explainable. And an expensive car is not always good. Sometimes someone is just testing your ignorance. Chimanyi te chimanyi. You get. So before buying, compare the prices, ask around, look at the bonds, look at the vivandas, look at private sellers, yeah, talk to people who recently bought. You need to understand, check condition against price. I told you last time, don't buy blindly. Do your homework of the market. Manyakatale bukatambula ekyambo kali katya nakawa kali katya eno bayitayo wakulumumba kali katya ewabba kuli kali katya mundeba kali katya emachinde kali katya enabweru kali katya. You need to understand embarara kali katya masaka batunda batya. The other obvious thing you guys need to look at is you need to do your homework on the common problems, because every car, even a Toyota Wish, they have things you must check carefully. This does not mean the car is bad. It means you must know where to look. Of course, now, guys, you need to understand there are cars that have problems. Even if what, it will disturb you. So if you are buying a Subaru Forester XT, do your homework on turbo maintenance, oil leaks, overheating, yeah, previous abuse. You need to do your homework. If you're buying a Marquis, do your homework on fuel consumption, the steering problems that they have, accident history, dashboard cracks, gearbox problems. How does it feel? The engine, do your homework, guys. If you're buying, for example, you're buying a Prius or Aqua, do your homework on hybrid battery health, the ABS system, the inverter issues, the cooling fan, and the proper analysis of the market. And of course, if, for example, you're buying a CX-5 diesel, do your homework on diesel engine issues, injectors, turbos, Do your homework. If you're buying a Nissan X-Trail, a Juke, do your homework. It will not make you happy for you to buy a car this week and next week it's not on the road. If you're buying a newer Vauxhall a Wish Fielder, the gearbox type, no. Rust, suspension, cooling system. Yeah, you need to understand all the previous handling. If you're buying an old luxury car, do your homework on electronics, because most of the luxury cars have a lot of electronics, suspension parts, costs, specialist mechanics, and all that. Talking about Bentley ya speaker, Rolls Royce ya speaker. Tomanyi banagikanikira wanaye yamulemerera. Police negitwala. Yagitwanga omukazi tagivuze namu. Tetumanyi lwaki yagivuga mugwe ng'oveno ng'ogula. Do your homework, yeah? So this homework helps you inspect with a target. You do not just go and look at a car and say it's clean. Clean where? Does it have a clean body, clean engine, clean gearbox, clean documents? Yeah. Under correct diagnosis? Yeah. How is the history? A car can be clean in photos, but data in reality.
From dusty road to dreams we patrol.
And the obvious thing, guys, I am surrounded by spare parts, right? All these came out of a car, or one car, or the other. My studio is full of lights, of is full of tires, full of rims, full of springs. I have 2 engines here. I have 2 transmissions. Yeah, I have air cleaners. I have a lot of plastics that come out of cars. My point is, do your homework on maintenance. The maintenance costs are very important. Many buyers only prepare for money for buying, and that is a mistake. A used car will still need money after buying it. Never you're born. You may need tires, you may need service, you may need brake pads, you may need suspension work, you may need a new battery, you may need alignment, you may need AC repair. Never repair AC, buy a car with working AC. You may need gearbox oil, you may need plugs, you may need mountings. Plugs za sienta bogena edi musifao basi kuze mtwala 38 kwana. So what does this car cost to maintain? So before you buy, ask yourself, what does it take to maintain this car? What does it cost to maintain? Not every car has the same maintenance cost. A Vis is not maintained like a Mark-X. A Passo is not maintained like a Prado. A Prius is not maintained the same as a Primo. A Forester XT is not maintained the same like a normal small car. It's a Forester XT. A BMW is not maintained like a Fielder. So, I mean, don't just ask, can I buy it? Ask, can I keep it alive? And it doesn't die. Some of you guys don't like when I say it dies. So because the purchase price is a one-time payment and ownership is continuous, and many people get this wrong, it's important that you buy the car that you can maintain. People normally buy the car at the age of the budget. Then after buying the car, then the car starts asking for tires, new rims, brakes. Yeah, for a Touareg, for example, brakes will probably cost you like 300,000 in front, 300,000 behind. Or what do you Fielder? You might be mass over to take a brake is amunana, If your budget is 30 million shillings, do not spend 30 million shillings on a car and remain with nothing. Leave room for at least some proper maintenance work, immediate repairs. You're buying a used car, guy. Yeah, a used car does not become yours properly until you have done your own baseline maintenance. Is it only Kiwako?
For the love of cars, Uganda.
Now, of course, you need to do your homework on parts and mechanics. You don't want to buy a car where there are only like 4 mechanics in the country. You ask, are the parts available? Yeah, are they affordable? You ask, are they genuine or mostly fake? Can mechanics understand this car? Do I need a specialist? Yeah, is the specialist accessible to me? If the breakdown is up country, can I get help? That's why people keep buying Fielder. They know whenever the Fielder dies, there is help. Some cars are good, but they are not easy to support. A rare car can look unique until you need a headlight. Hey, you can't find it. A luxury car can look affordable until you need a sensor. A hybrid can save fuel until you need a proper diagnosis of the hybrid battery. You get the lights wali. Karede kaganyo kujja. Ezikide yoka kulusozi. A diesel car can save you fuel until the injector problems start. A turbo car can be exciting until you need someone who understands it. A manual car is a good thing. But how many mechanics do you know can maintain a manual car? But a chemical clutch, but bleeding. This is why common cars remain popular. The Fielders, the Primos, the Wish, the Vitz, yeah, the Auris, the IST. You get, because if you're a first-time car owner, you may be safer with those cars whose parts and mechanics you can find easily. If you're experienced and you have the budget and the right support, you can buy all those cars that you want. But never buy a car without knowing who will maintain it, because you certainly can't. You're not a mechanic. A good car in the hands of the wrong mechanic becomes a very bad car very quickly. Many cars are not killed by age. They are killed by guesswork. Even Sientas, by the way, I've worked on Sientas with gadget diagnosis, and you'll be surprised. A person pays you 350,000 to diagnose a car. Now the problem, wrong plugs. Just the wrong mechanic makes your car bad very fast.
From dusty road to dreams we patrol.
Now, obviously, you also need to do all your homework on documents and ownership. Now, URA made it easy. You have an agent, they can tell you who's in the logbook. They give you the number, you call it. Yeah? You need to verify, call them, I'm buying this car, is it in the right hand, will you transfer for me? You need to check police receipts. Yeah? You need to check parking receipts. You need to be very careful. I mean, once the story is not clear of who owns the car, who will do the transfer, what the process will be like, then that's a red flag. You need to leave the car and find something else. Ateze nunje nnyo kasa people akatagata Jason way. A car can be mechanically clean but legally stressful. Yes, and legal stress can be worse than mechanical stress. Kubanga mechanical stress can be just a part. Ngechintu nga wipe ganyo kola party ebuzi. Nogamba wipe nkuba wenatonya nga parkinga, bwechanga mvuga. But legal stress. Someone is saying they stole my car, and in the car it was 50 million. So now you have to give back your car and also pay 50 million. Because with mechanical problems, omanyi wechiva. Ne Uganda wange. So don't be shy to ask questions. Do your homework on paperwork. You see, before you buy a car, you need to do your homework on the seller. A lot of people, when they go to buy a car, they start asking questions after they have reached the car. By then, the emotions have already taken over. Have you seen the car? You like the car, they like the color, you like the interior. Yeah, the seller is talking to you nicely. The broker is saying this one is clean and singeri. Your mind has already started owning the car. That's why the homework should happen before meeting the seller. Especially if you're buying from bonds, you need to understand, has this person had any scandal or something? A seller with pressure is dangerous to a buyer with no homework, because pressure works best on confusion. You're confused, or you are tasura tewasasude wike wende ba code by rifu bajja transfer ganyo kujida akafana niko kabi all. So you need to understand the kind of person you're buying from. I've had this, especially the guys that are buying on credit. You know, the person that's selling this car on credit, do they pull the car often? For
the love of cars, Uganda, we roll.
And then, of course, do your homework on inspection. Oh, this is a very delicate issue because I do inspection. So you see, many people think that inspection is just opening the bonnet, listening to the engine. And then you move away. I have seen. This is not enough. This is where career inspectors like Arthur come in. Yes. A proper inspection should look at the body, the engine, the gearbox, yeah, the suspension, the brakes, the tires, undercarriage, electronics, AC diagnosis, and test drive where possible. Do not buy a car because the engine is silent while parked. A car can have a silent engine and a bad gearbox. A car can have a clean body and a rusty undercar underneath. And a car can have no warning lights because they were cleared. A car can drive very well for 2 minutes and misbehave the third. A car can look like it's a very good car, but I have a very accident history. I never know about him. A car can look cheap but need expensive repairs. Inspection must be serious. Yeah, some where possible, put the car on the pit. Put the computer diagnosis. Test drive it properly where you can. Check the fluids. Check the leaks. Check the suspension. Check the tires. Check the cooling system. Check the gearbox behavior. Check ownership documents. And most importantly, guys, inspect before paying serious money. Do not pay and then inspect. You see, as I want to do Gymkhana, I saw a Mercedes-Benz myself. And it looked really nice. It was manual transmission, which is really nice for Gymkhana. I'd kill them driving a 2.5 liter Mercedes-Benz manual gearbox, rear wheel drive. Way! Mbamba mazi. So I sent it to Kasim. Kasim told me, "Eye moro kanjimanyi. Etawanyiza fena ba makanika ba Benz etulemi." So homework. Do your homework. And of course, do your homework on your budget after buying. You see, many people buy cars and remain broke. Nagwamu, kwata musango sorozi fungurotinga, there is no money. And then the car asks for service, they postpone it. The car asks for tires and they buy poor tires or old tires or used tires. Asks for suspension, and they just keep driving. Yeah, for brakes, and they'll say, I'll fix next month. The car asks for a gearbox oil, and they ignore. It asks for coolant, and they pour water. That's not ownership. That's survival, bro. Survival. So you need to do your homework on the budget, yeah? Kuna homework on budget. Because before you buy a car, I've told you time and again, you're going to need a service, tires sometimes, brakes, suspension repairs where necessary, alignment, yeah? Small body fixes sometimes here and there, unexpected repairs. If you cannot afford anything after buying the car, maybe you're buying too high, yeah? Maybe your budget was higher than what you should have budgeted. So sometimes the wise buyer does not buy the most expensive car. They buy the most affordable car with their money. You get it? So you need to be able to buy a car and still maintain it. That's how you maintain ownership.
Uganda.
And of course, the very last thing that I think you guys should know before, and people call me and I ask them, what cars are you thinking about? And they have none. How do you go to look for a car and you have only one option? The last homework you need to be doing is alternatives. The mistake that some of you guys are doing is falling in love with one car or one model too early. Someone says, I only want a Harrier. But the budget fits the RAV4. Someone says, I only want a Fielder. But the available Fielders in the budget are tired. While a clean Rumion or Sienta may serve the purpose. You get? Someone says, I only want the Mark X. But their budget or income may be more comfortable in a Mark II Musota. Someone says, I want a Prado. You know, the Prado is in their budget is tired. Well, a Grand Vitara wali ka Suzuki, ka Honda CR-V, ka libadde kamukono ka RAV4. So your homework helps you compare. It's important that you don't marry a model before you understand the options. Some of you guys are going to say this is not about cars. Don't marry the model before you understand the options. Okay, it doesn't sound like it's about cars, but it's about cars. You get? So you need to ask yourself, what other car can do the same job? What other car is cheaper to maintain? What is more available? What is in better condition to buy? What fits my roads better? What fits my family better? Sometimes the best car is not the car that you first wanted. It is the car that fits you better after doing your homework. So guys, obviously before you go buying a car in Uganda, I need you to start doing your homework. The real need, you need to ask yourself, what's the market price? What are the common problems? You get maintenance costs. Are the parts and mechanics available? Find out how the paperwork is moving, police receipts, parking, before meeting the seller, know who they are. Yeah, you need to also understand what are the alternatives. Yeah, and then of course you need to do your homework on the budget after buying. That's why we do inspection reports. Give you an inspection report and tell you get, because a car without a homework is like entering an exam without reading. You may pass by luck. Yes, you do. Some of you guys have passed by luck for years. But sometimes you need strategy. A car is one of the biggest purchases many people make. It deserves serious thinking. Don't let a broker rush you. Do not let a seller pressure you. Yeah? Do not let that nice smooth body confuse you. Yeah? Do not let the sweet price blind you. Do not let social media decide for you. Do not buy a car only because your friend has one. Ask questions, research, compare, inspect, verify, budget, and then decide properly. Because the car you're buying should not excite you only one day. It should still make sense after 6 months, after 1 year, yeah, and after you have done the majority of the first repairs you're going to do, because they are going to be there. Now I want to hear from you guys. What homework do you think people ignore most before they buy the cars in Uganda? Is it the market price? Yeah, is it the common car problems? Is it the maintenance? What do they ignore? Is it the documents? Share your opinion in the comment, guys. 29th August is going to be the Love for Cars convention. We'll learn these and more things at that event. The entrance is going to be 30,000 shillings. Tickets start going on sale in August. Until next time, ciao.